Hello, everyone. This is Renee Cobb and Mark Royce, and welcome to Overtones Live.
Water is 100 proof. Raise a barn and raise a roof. Horsepower of a different breed. Built for comfort and for speed. And bluegrass don't need cutting. Mountain high and valley low. God beside me, here I go. With all the gold and undue spare. Early in the summer wind. And bluegrass don't need cutting. The sun shines bright in the green rolling hills of my birth.
Happy Tuesday night, everyone. And every week we open up our show with the Goodwin Brothers' Don't Need a Cuttin'. That starts off our show on just the right note every single time. And Mark, tonight we have so much to be singing about and only 1 hour to do it. So let's get right down to it.
All right.
We have so much to be thankful for and only 1 hour to be thankful for here on the air live tonight as we are coming to you from Radiolex WLXU 93.9 FM in the Debra Hensley Studio at Greyline Station. Woohoo, yes. The first thing I want to do before we introduce our most exceptional guest for the evening, which is exciting enough in its own, the Josie Music Award nominations have been in autopilot steady release for the last 2 weeks, which is also making a lot of people a little bit anxious, right?
Right.
They've done it differently, so every day they've kind of been releasing just
It's like
one
the
of the
Nobel Prizes.
Yes, it is.
Just one a day.
It has been wonderful. And last week we discovered that Radiolex has received its first Josie Music Awards nomination in the media category for radio.
Very excited. Very
And Mark,
excited.
what in the world does it feel like to find out this news, which I delivered to him, by the way, while we were traveling to Nashville last week?
I know it was great, and thank you because it was Renee who did the work of putting us up there. But out of 75,000 nominations, we somehow made a blip on the screen. So yay! Thank you.
Yes, and it's the second thing I'm singing about, aside from having you with me by my side this evening as our guest. And since we have a full house again in the studio, let's get this musical extravaganza started as we celebrate the upcoming Spirit in the Bluegrass Festival at the Kentucky Horse Park, June 6th through the 8th. And Mark, we have the organizer and festival planning and execution extraordinaire. Let's give it up for the one and only Sammy Karr. Wow. And Mark, as if that were not enough, we have a bluegrass star and also a member of at least 3 bands that are going to grace the Spirit of the Bluegrass stage in June, the great Junior Williams.
Yay!
Yay.
Junior.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna kick the show off tonight with an in-studio performance, which is always fun when that happens. So, Junior, what are you gonna do for us?
This song is from my solo CD I recorded 3 years ago, I think, called Railroad Town Without a Train. This song is an old Don Williams tune from 1979 called Lord, I Hope This Day Is Good. Lord, I hope this day is good. I'm feeling empty and misunderstood. I should be thankful, Lord, I know I should. But Lord, I hope this day is good. Lord, have you forgotten me? I've been praying to you faithfully. I'm not saying I'm a righteous man, but Lord, I hope you understand. I don't need fortune and I don't need fame. Send down the thunder, Lord, send down the rain. And when you're planning just how it will be, plan a good day for me. Lord, I hope this day is good. I'm feeling empty and misunderstood. I should be thankful, Lord, I know I should. But Lord, I hope this day is good. You've been the king since the dawn of time. All I'm asking is a little less crime. It might be hard for the devil to do, but it would be easy for you. Lord, I hope this day is good. I'm feeling empty and misunderstood. I should be thankful, Lord, I know I should. But Lord, I hope this day is good. Yes, Lord, I hope this day is good.
Yeah, we're all like, now we need to clap. That was so good. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for
I have to
having me.
tell you a story about that song because I think it was one time, the first time we probably saw you perform with the Goodwin Brothers, Warren and I got right in the car, like after we were at some event, and we were listening to Sirius, the Bluegrass channel, and your song came on. That song came on. And we're like, that's the guy we just met. And we kind of thought you might be related to Don Williams because we saw that you shared a same name. Do you get asked that a lot?
I do. I
Yeah.
do. And no, sadly, no.
Well,
I'm not.
we're glad you're here tonight, and we understand that you're performing with 3 bands this weekend, next weekend at the Spirit of the Bluegrass
Yeah,
Festival.
I just found out another band that has asked me to sit
Oh,
in
so is there
with them.
4 now?
No, it's only
Okay,
3. It's
so
only 3.
who are those bands?
Well, Tim Shelton Syndicate,
Okay.
who is my main gig. The Goodwin Brothers, I play with quite often, and Dave Atkins.
And you have a whole solo career going too.
Well, I wouldn't call it a career.
He's in demand.
Yeah.
He's in demand. And also, Sammy, before we talk about the festival, what can you tell us about yourself and your amazing musical history and all the wonderful things that you present and bring forth to the bluegrass fan, young and old?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me, and congratulations on that's a big accomplishment on the Josie thing. I'm just kind of wondering how in the heck did we get invited to this show, Junior? It must have been you, because
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
And another thing I was thinking, he plays with 3 bands. I only got to pay him for one, right? I mean, I don't have to pay you 3 times.
We got to get that straight.
Okay,
right now.
let me get back to where I'm going.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later.
Okay, all right. No, thank you really for having us. We're blessed to be here. I'm a retired school teacher from London, Kentucky. And really, I've been going to bluegrass festivals since I was 10 years old. And ironically, it was at Masterson Station Park when the Cornets started Festival of the Bluegrass. I was at that. And we'd go with our parents, and I just got to learn about the music. Never could play. I played in a little country band called the Barn Lizards, but we never made the charts or anything. But we had a lot of fun. We played for food and bourbon. It was awesome. Anyway, how I got in the bluegrass business was I actually had a birthday party for my nephew's 21st, and I hired a band, and bluegrass band. I had about 30 people there, and then it was really cool. And so the next year I saved my money, didn't go on vacation, and got a bigger band. And I started getting one big band a year in my backyard. Well, I had James King there. I had the Grascals. I had Russell Moore there, and, some big bands. Then I got kicked out of that little community, and they said, you all can't have big buses. I mean, they'd drive their buses up my little, we couldn't get out. I mean, it was really cool. That's how my bluegrass promotion started. And then I met Rick Green and actually at Rudy Fest, and Rick Green approached me and said, our fair board wants to do something. Come up and look at it. And long story short, that's how we started Sam Jam 9 years ago. Looked and I knew nothing about it. I gave them a budget, and that budget was every big band in bluegrass. And I was like, they're never going to accept it. I don't have to worry about it. So they come back and said,
They did.
you know what? Let's do this. And I said, oh, no. That wasn't that's not what I said, but I was, yeah, you get
Some
it.
derivative of that.
So we took 2 years to get that organized, and with a lot of help from people I knew in the industry and a lot of good friends and the musicians, we've been fortunate to be successful. And then that led to when this came open, Festival of Bluegrass kind of quit. I jumped on it because I've never missed a year there, and I said this something that needs to happen again. So
well,
we are.
We are so glad that you're here and that you're going to be here and presenting this amazing festival. Junior, what can you tell us? You play a lot of festivals, I'm sure, during the course of a year, and you have for many years. What can you tell us about what makes the spirit of the Bluegrass Festival so incredibly special?
I think it's that sense of community, because on the Sunday before the music starts, people will roll in there from all over the country in RVs and campers. And it's like almost like a family reunion, because they're out playing games, they're jamming, they're cooking with one another, they're just enjoying time together. And it's always been that way since I guess the first time I ever went was the first year it moved from Masterson Station Park. I went the last year it was at Masterson Station,
Yes.
then the first year it moved over to the horse park. And I was just blown away at the people and how much they love to be around one another. That just seems like the greatest thing about it is that sense of community.
Yeah. Well, let me just say that in addition to you playing songs, we're also going to hear some off of your recording,
Thank you.
Railroad Town Without a Train.
I appreciate that.
And one of the songs I like, it's one of my favorite versions that you do this, is Worried Man. And Sammy, it would be my guess that is a lot of worrying and stress that probably goes into some of these festivals. No matter how much you have prepared, there's probably always unexpected dynamics. How do you manage stress and worry during a festival as big as Spirit of the Bluegrass or Sam Jam, for example?
Do I have to tell you everything, how I handle it?
No, we'll just get the basics.
No, really, it's you're only as good as the people that you surround yourself with. So, our volunteers, our community, our team alleviates a lot of that because they're so awesome. I mean, we work on this year round. It's not something we throw together the last month, before. So we got everybody in place. I live in Indiana now. Rick lives in Ohio, so we're trying to run a festival, and you can't do that without, help. And we have a lot of help here, and our sponsors. I'll talk about them here later, but our support group is so much, and friends I've met in this industry help me. I mean, a lot, and I need it. And I think if everybody would do that, all the festivals would do that together, I think it'd be a really good thing. Unfortunately, that don't happen, but everybody's busy and doing their own thing. But we're just, we got a great team. We want to put on an event, not just a music festival. We want to make it an event. That's our attitude. So we do a lot of different things than a regular Bluegrass Festival does.
Excellent. Well, as Junior sings it, worried now, but we won't be worried long, right? Because we've got this beautiful festival coming to Kentucky Horse Park in a couple of weeks. Here's Junior Williams with Worried Man.
It takes a worried man
asleep when I woke up. I had shackles on my feet. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. I'm worried now, but I won't be worried long. Why to be my time? I asked the judge, Lord, why to be my time? I asked the judge, why to be my time? 21 years on the Rocky Mountain line. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. I'm worried now, but I won't be worried long. This train that I'm riding on, 16 coaches long. This train that I'm riding, 16 coaches long, and the girl I love, Lord, she's on that train gone. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. I'm worried now, but I won't be worried long.
You're listening to 93.9 WLXU LP-FM, Radiolex, the voice of the people.
Radiolex has the support of CD sponsor Bethany Hicks, State Farm Agent. BethanyHicks.com.
Não passe esta temporada de festas doente. Mantenha seus amigos e familiares saudáveis tomando a vacina contra a gripe e vacina ou reforços contra a Covid. Lave as mãos, cubra a boca ao tossir e use máscara em ambientes com aglomerações. Se estiver doente ou com febre, fique em casa. Não dê um presente que ninguém quer receber. Descubra onde você pode tomar a vacina contra a gripe ou a vacina contra a Covid em vacinas.gov ou ligue para 1-800-232-0233.
So that was, before the break, we had Junior Williams with Worried Man from his latest album, Railroad Town Without a Train. That's hard to say 3 times real fast. So, Junior, as we mentioned before, we'll be performing with 3 bands, and one of them is a Radiolex favorite, frequent presence on Overtones Live as well, the Goodwin Brothers. And Sammy, I know you're a big fan of the GBs and also Junior's role in that band. What can you tell us about what you like so much about the Goodwin Brothers and what they really bring to a festival like Spirit of the Bluegrass?
This is a great story how I met them. It was during COVID when everything was shut down. I was still trying to have things and would let people come and mask and separate. I still ran music, and I was, everybody had a lot of time, and so I always looked for new material, new bands, new artists, and try to promote those. And I ran across them. I was Googling one day, and I was like, how have I never heard of these guys? I'm from London, Lexington all the time, and started playing some of their stuff that was online, and it blew me away. And I'm like, well, surely these guys aren't playing anymore or whatever. So I reached out, and I think I got Jonathan, and I said, who are you exactly? I want to know more about what you guys do. Are you still a band? I think I listened to the Osborne Brothers stuff.
They recorded a lot of videos during that time as well.
And I started talking to him, and I was like, would you want to do something? I just wanted to see him here. And I heard him, and I was like, nah, I can't be that good. There's something going on here. Because it was, it was great. And I'm like, these guys aren't bluegrass, are they? What are they? So I was just curious, and I'm not real smart. So I went for it and said, let's do something. I want to hear you guys. That's how I found the Goodwin Brothers. I was Googling, and we got something together. And when I heard them, it just, like everybody else, just blows you away. Their harmony, and most of all, their energy for me. One thing led to another, and I got them to Sam Jam immediately. I had them play in the street up there at our hop. Then I put them on the main stage, and then the next year they closed out after the Still Drivers. So it didn't take me long to get smart. And then when we started the Spirit here, automatically said, hey man, come and do this. And we've developed a really close relationship with those guys. I talk to Goose more than I talk to a lot of people.
Common story.
Yeah, he's a dandy. But no, actually they came up and played one of my birthday parties in my backyard, and just a really good working relationship, and they're absolutely fantastic.
Well, thank you for that story. I don't believe I'd heard that one myself. So what a wonderful story. And also about the power of the internet and how much we learned during that time when we didn't have a whole lot else to do. There's so many beautiful stories that have come out of that.
Well, and I want to remind people who might be joining us right now or in the middle of the show that this festival we're talking about, Spirit of the Bluegrass, is actually coming up June 6th through 8th at the Kentucky Horse Park. So if you're wondering what is this festival and how can I be a part of it, that's when it's happening. And we always like to clue people in periodically about what's going now.
And we're going to hear so much more about that. And we do have Junior Williams in the studio with us. And Junior, you're going to perform another cut from your album. The last one you did was Lord, I Hope This Day Is Good. What are we going to hear for this one?
This is the title cut, Railroad Town Without a Train. And I've been trying to look for the lyrics because I'm not sure I can remember it.
Well, I changed the name to track, I guess, somewhere along the way. So my autocorrect is not working very well.
I know them, and I'll take over.
Sweet. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go. Early Thursday morning, we finally got the news. We all went home that evening with the Clinchfield blues. They say they'll pay the wages for another 60 days. Then we're on our own with whatever we've saved. It's been 110 years, but overnight it's gone. Some say they felt the changes coming all along. Yesterday at 3 o'clock I heard the whistle blow on the last locomotive of the CC&O. Folks are gonna move on, but all that will remain are the tracks that run right through a railroad town without a train. George L. Carter laid the tracks so he could haul the coal from the mountains of Virginia to the Carolina coast. He built the town around the railroad yard, the switches and the signs. I grew up listening to the music of the rattle and the grind. Now you'll never know the railroad ever came through here. Soon the weeds will grow so tall, the tracks will disappear. When my son is old enough, one day I will explain why we live in another railroad town without a train. Folks are gonna move on, but all that will remain are the tracks that run right through a railroad town without a train. These tracks that run right through a railroad town. Thank you.
Can you do that again? That's cool.
No.
So, Mark, do you want to take it away? I know you have a question here for Junior.
Sure. We've talked about the bands that keep you on the weekend road currently, but tell us a little bit about your history, Junior, and where you come from musically, and why you're so familiar to the fans of the bluegrass world.
I grew up in a Baptist church singing and playing since I was about 5. I started singing when I was 5 years old and playing guitar when I was 6. And I played backup for a lot of the people that sang in church. So I learned quickly, different chord structures and things like that. When I was fresh out of high school, I played country music for a band in Irving for a while. Then I moved to a gospel group called the Bishops from Richmond in 1985 and played the gospel circuit for many years. Then left that group. Gentleman Tim Shelton, who I'm currently with in the Tim Shelton Syndicate, we formed a group called Newfound Road in 2001. I left that band in 2009. My ex-wife, Katie Penn, and I formed a group called Newtown. I've been in music since I was, in my early 20s. It'll almost be 40 years very soon. And I've just played a lot.
The Bishops, was Kenny Bishop part of
Yes.
it? Yeah,
Kenny, his brother, Mark, and his father, Kenneth. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, that is just such a wonderful story. And again, we're so glad to have you here. We've been working on this for a long time, haven't we?
I know. We've talked about it on cruise ships.
Yes, we have.
Concerts.
Yeah.
Where was I?
We got to get you on that
You were
cruise.
working on the next Bluegrass Festival.
Well, that's coming to an end if you all are going cruising. Wow.
And Sammy, I would imagine after doing what you do so well over the course of many years that you have what's called super fans of your festivals. Do any regular characters kind of stand out to you as being special or even a lot of fun? We're all about the nightmare stories too, so let's bring it.
Oh, boy. I get to talk about my people.
Yes.
First of all, I say this. I get on stage at Sam Jam and I did at Spirit. I think, and you can ask Junior or any of the musicians that play, I think our fan base is the best in bluegrass.
Yeah.
No one gives it back like our fans. And I think it's just an atmosphere that's hard to get, where I don't want them in their seats. I want them out. I want them vocal. I don't want them people shushing each other. I want atmosphere there, and the bands feed off that. So I think our fan base at Sam Jam and the Spirit and the Bluegrass is second to none. And they've heard that over and over and over, and they bring it. I mean, you ask Junior, they bring it every time.
Yeah, people love this festival because it is an event. Mm-hmm. Each year, it's something a little different, and like I said, especially with Spirit, the many, many years of people being there, it's such a tight community. But it's that way at Sam Jam. It's like you go up there, and it's like a family reunion. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of excitement. But the characters, I've got to go to my Raghead group, which we were the first community in bluegrass. And when I say that, I mean, you go to Festival of Bluegrass back in the day, there was Wooville. Mm-hmm. There was, all these different names of communities. Well, the Ragheads were the first. We were the first. And how that all came about was, at 10 years old, My buddy Robbie Taylor was with Al Taylor, which is a legend in bluegrass, and my father at Masterton Station. We got put up on the stage. We were crying. We got lost. So anybody claim these two?
I remember those days.
They came and got us and weren't happy, so they made us. They had white towels and they wet them down and said, "You wear those around," and in hopes we wouldn't run off. So we did run off again, and we was like, "Man, this sucks. So we're gonna clip these and make little, headbands." So we ran around with them, and people go, "Oh, there's little ragheads." Well, one thing that led to another. All our friends started wearing them, and as we got in college, my college friends started wearing them, and then the parents started wearing them, and everybody'd come over and say, "How do we be a raghead? We want to. You guys are. I mean, it's just all walks of life that has come over to our corner." We go to a little initiation, or we'll make them sing a song or dance in front of the other ragheads, and it's just a big community of some of the best fans in bluegrass. And are they obnoxious? I say they. Are we obnoxious? Hell yes, we're obnoxious. But we do it. I put them off to the side, and we just have fun. You'll see them in force. This is our 50-year anniversary.
Oh, wow.
It's going to be great. But a cast of characters, that's your characters. And there's doctors, lawyers, attorneys.
Isn't it fun to see what happens to people at festivals? Sometimes the most, quiet people really come alive, right? Or how somebody through a different career. And then you get them in a music festival, and it's just like, oh, look
You're
at that.
not obnoxious.
And then you find out who can dance. And
Right, exactly.
You guys aren't obnoxious. You're enthusiastic.
That's right. That's right. That's our story, and we're sticking to it.
Well, what was funny, real quick, is when we finally, Rick and I, got this festival, I got on stage last year, and I said, it just occurred to me, all those years I was trying to find a way to not get kicked out of this place. And now I'm running the damn thing. So I said, this is surreal for me. I mean, how's that happen? Yeah. But no, it was, we had a good relationship with the Cornets, and I have a lot of respect for what they built. And we keep some of that. We always will, because it's special, and we'll add some of our new stuff to it. But the cast of characters, there you go.
There you go. So I'm sure there's barriers and challenges to every type of event like this, of this magnitude. But Mark, we're going to hear next Junior's performance of "I Feel the Blues Moving In." And this is one of my favorite bluegrass songs. And also the Goodwin brothers do this as well. And I love it. And here's to keeping those blues out of the festival scene this year, unless they're musical blues, right? So here's a track from Junior Williams' album, Railroad Train.
Are the teardrops on the paper? You said that's all I'll write for now. I'll close for now, old friend. The last letter that you
You are listening to Radiolex, the voice of the people, WLXU 93.9 LPFM, Lexington, Kentucky.
This is Renee Cobb, host of Overtones Live. Radiolex is run by volunteers, your neighbors, your coworkers, and your friends. We're truly a community radio station, providing real alternatives to music and news that you'll hear nowhere else but WLXU 93.9 FM in English and WLXL 95.7 FM in Spanish. This important service isn't controlled or funded by corporate media conglomerates. Instead, it is only possible when our listeners join in and show support. Be an active part of the voice of the people. Visit radiolex.us/donate and support Radiolex right now.
Radiolex is proud to have the support of the Lextropolis, that digital magazine that is sweeping the nation. With over 10,000 readers and climbing, serving Central Kentucky since 2015, engaging local writers, models, and photographers to tell the true narrative of our community. For more information, call 859-429-1442 or go to www.thelextropolis.com. The Lextropolis, for the people, by the people.
Has your drive got you riled up? Are you running late? Is everyone in your way? Driving while impatient or upset increases your likelihood of a crash. Take a deep breath, focus on where you are, not where you need to be. Check your mirrors, relax your grip on the steering wheel. If your emotions are still getting in the way, get off the road. Get out of your car, stretch, or take a quick walk. Hi, this is Debra Hensley with State Farm, reminding you to be a good neighbor and get where you're going safely.
Mark and everyone, we are back, and you've been listening to Bluegrass star Junior Williams perform in the studio, and also, he's laughing at me, and also on the air this evening. And we are so happy to have both Junior and Sammy Karr from Spirit in the Bluegrass Festival. Sammy, tell us a little bit about what fans can expect during this. It's 3-day festival, right? And any details they might need to prepare for what to bring, also what might be available on site. And if you could also tell us who are the fine people that are sponsoring this event.
Thank you. Yes, I definitely want to mention our sponsors here. And naturally, you can't have a festival without community involvement. And these people are just unbelievable. Visit Lex, of course, is in. They were first to really believe and support us on that. Georgetown, Scott County Tourism, great people there. Troy Olds and Olds Fire Stop and Protection, they're out toward Louisville, but he's become a personal friend, and he does Sam Jam and Spirit, and he, great business. Sound Biscuit Productions is another one that does, Dave Magger. I don't know if you know him. He runs that, and supports Sam Jam and Spirit in the Bluegrass. L8, of course, you have to have L8. Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go if there wasn't.
Jeff Mattingly, Bourbon 30 guys, they're doing a unique bottle for the 50 years. That stuff's been going on. R&R Tent Rental, Sip Shine, Moonshine, which has a presence in the local bars and stuff. Kentucky 811. Jamie Gaddis is there. They're in with us. And Morgan Withrow, a local realtor that is a big Bluegrass fan, is in. And, it's hard to get sponsors when you don't live here.
Yes. It's hard to get them when you do live here, too.
It's hard to get them when you do live here. And to ask people is not my strongest point. But, people just automatically wanted to support this festival. Junior has been unbelievable trying to, get some people involved. And that's what, again, a network. Mm-hmm. You're only good as your network, and we appreciate that from him. But, yeah, June 6th, 7th, and 8th. At the Kentucky Horse Park. You can get all the information. at www.spiritinthebluegrass. It's got our lineup, ticket information. Of course, you can drive up and buy tickets if you want. If you want camping, you better call me. I'll put out my number right now. I don't care because all I do is answer the phone anyway. So it's 812-699-0962. Call me. We're pretty much sold out, but I'll get you something. I'll get you in the gates, and we also have cancellations there. We have a beer garden. That's unusual. It's a 100-foot beer garden. We have TVs in there that will show the stage. We sell dollar beers and seltzers and soft drinks, and you can go visit our vendors and go under the shade and watch the stage on TVs. Mm-hmm. It's really cool, great atmosphere, and we have a 2-hour supper break every day. So we have live music under the beer garden during that 2 hours.
How cool.
And sometimes that gets crazier than the main stage. It just, just depends. So we always have something, it's a little bit different. Great vendors, great food, just an all-around, it's just a special place. And one of the nicest campgrounds I've ever been in. Mm-hmm. It's just the whole combination of everything there is just unbelievable. But any information you need, I'm easy to find.
Well, outstanding. Thank you so much again for being with us here today.
Thank you so much.
Junior, you have another song that you're going to perform with us here live in the studio. Mm-hmm. What did we decide that was going to be?
I'm a big fan of Merle Haggard, and I have been for years. When I really started singing lead on stuff, I didn't really have an idea of what I wanted to sound like, or even if I could sing lead. So when I started listening to people that I wanted to emulate or learn things from, Merle was the very first guy. And one of my uncles was a great fan of Merle Haggard. And this is one from the 80s, I think. Wish I were down on some blue bayou with a bamboo cane stuck in the sand. The road I'm on don't seem to go there, so I'll just dream, keep on being the way I am. Wish I enjoyed what makes my living, did what I do with a will in hand. Some would run, that ain't like me, so I'll just dream and keep on being the way I am. The way I am don't fit my shackles. The way I am, reality. I could almost see that bobber dancing, so I'll just dream and keep on being the way I am. Fit my shackles, the way I am, reality. I can almost see that bobber dancing. I'll just dream and keep on being the way I am. I'll just dream, keep on being the way I am.
Beautiful.
It's so nice to have live music in the studio, isn't it?
It's awesome.
It's a treat.
I mean, I
yeah.
love your recordings, but it's just nothing like having live music in the studio. So thank you so much. And Mark, we've talked so much about this festival. We failed to talk about who is going to be at this festival. So let's spend some
Just trust
time. So it's like, come out, it'll be a surprise, right? But there are some really, really great and big names that are bluegrass music fans in Kentucky. And also, if you're not a bluegrass music fan, if you love music, there are a lot of really great acts that we can enjoy. Who are some of those? And what do you have to say about their contribution to this festival?
Yeah, so Thursday, for years they'd start at 6 o'clock in the evening and then have a couple bands at night. We're going to start this year at 1 and have 3 full days now. So that's a change. Mash Grass is from Lexington, and a high energy, great local group. They're there on Thursday. Rounders Station, if you like old Tony Rice stuff, that's your band. They're from Williamsburg, Kentucky. A long-time Festival of the Bluegrass band was Williamson Branch, a great family band. They're there on Thursday. Then you cannot have anything in Lexington without paying a little tribute to J.D. Crowe. Mm-hmm. So we do a Red Slipper Lounge tribute with a bunch of great guys, from different bands. I can't go into it all, but they're awesome. And then another local band, Hancock and Shouse, will close it out, and they did last year, and they killed it. So a lot of Kentucky stuff going on Thursday. Friday, Tidal Wave Road is a band that won the Sam Jam Hop, and we sent them to Pine Castle, and Pine Castle signed them. So they're a new Pine Castle artist. They're there Friday. Authentic Unlimited, Tim Shelton Syndicate, Daly and Vincent. Ronnie Bowman is coming to be with the Tim Shelton Syndicate and do his stuff that evening, and the Goodwin Brothers close out. So you can find a Friday better than that, tell me, and I want to go. Saturday, Driving 23 is a group, really good group, great song list. This is Blue Mafia was going to be here and do 2 shows for me. They split up. So there's a band called the Creekers. Now, I don't know how many people's heard of them. I had them last week, and a buddy of mine, Tim, I know you're listening out there, Tim Parks, down in southern Kentucky, told me, he said, you got to see these. So we got them coming, and they might be the crowd favorite. I don't know. We'll see. The Amanda Cook Band is coming to play. Seldom Seen. You can't have a festival without them. And then the close out, 2 bands, Appalachian Roadshow, which
so
played
good.
Bluegrass, and the Bluegrass is there. And we're having my favorite Sideline band put back together with Troy Boone and those guys. So they're closing out. So Appalachian Roadshow and Sideline, I kind of do that thing on Saturday night, and that's going to get absolutely crazy. So there you go. And we think it's somebody for everybody. We got a lot of Kentucky bands represented, which is important. And then we got some heavy hitters. And, they know you come into play, you give it, and our fans will give it right back to you. So you're going to get energy. And I think the best lineup going in Bluegrass.
Well, that is just outstanding. And again, I'm kind of thinking ahead here, but you also have a major festival this fall, I believe, right? So
Yes.
What are the dates of that, and what can we look forward to as far as after we get this one checked off our list?
That's Labor Day weekend. Sam Jam, this will be our 9th year. That's an award-winning, IBMA award-winning festival. And this will be our 9th year. Unbelievable. A lot of, we got some of the bands that's here. Of course, they're at everything I do. Tim Shelton, Ronnie Bowman will be there. Scythian, I don't know if you all ever heard of Scythian, but you ought to look them up. They're a high-energy Blue Highway. Sean Lane got me onto them. And they're a high-energy band that's cool. They're coming. The Steel Drivers are there every year. Dave Atkins is there. The Creekers are going to be there. Lonesome River Band, the Grascals, on and on. It's 3-4 days of just craziness, and we model a lot of the spirit stuff after Sam Jam. It's just been successful, and we've been able to bring some younger audience in, so it's just getting bigger and bigger, and I think we got a good formula, but we're always learning. I mean, there's so much improvements we need to make from last year to this year, and we will. But, Rick Green's my partner. We do this, and he's just an awesome guy, loves it with all his heart, and he better. I'm hard to live with if it ain't perfect, but he's a great partner, and I really do appreciate him on both these festivals.
Well, it's just outstanding, and I'm just real appreciative of everything that you do. This is not easy work, folks. I mean, we do this radio show, which is a lot of work, right, Mark? But I mean, the magnitude at which you are using music to speak to the world is to be commended, and we're just so thankful you've been here. Junior, before we start to close out, let me just ask you a final question about, we've talked about relationship in music and how important it is in getting things done. We call that working in concert in Warren and Renee speak. But what are you looking most forward to? If you put all of the music aside, you're going to be working a lot that weekend, but there are times, we see the bluegrass musicians walking around, and we see some wonderful things happen external to the actual musical experience. What are you looking most forward to?
I can't help but go back to that sense of community. And all the festivals that Tim and I will be at, there's always folks there that have been there for years. They're mainstays. They're going to be there. It's those relationships you build on every year, and I just love to meet people and see how they're doing, see how their family's doing, because a lot of those families are there. I don't know. It's just I enjoy the music, of course, from all the other bands. I try to listen to everyone and support them. But it's just that family atmosphere that I gravitate to that. I love to watch people enjoy themselves. And, of course, on stage, that's what we try to do, is impart. So, those people are feeling what we want to impart to them so they have an experience. And that's just the main thing to me is when I travel around and go to festivals, especially festivals put on by this guy. It's just that sense of community that drives it.
Yeah. Well, one more time, just the facts, and only the facts, as we say. What are the details around Spirit in the Bluegrass, as far as the date and location?
Spirit in the Bluegrass, June 6th, 7th, and 8th. At the Kentucky Horse Park Campground. We will have a kickoff party at the Tipsy Cow in Georgetown. So if you have a wristband, you get in for $10. I think it's $15 if you don't. But you can get those online or show up at the door or whatever. But Dave Atkins is going to be playing there, along with a solo artist, Colton Bolin. So that'll be a good week.
Well, all right then. This seems like a great place to end this amazing edition of Overtones Live and Off the Cuff. Adam and I will be collaborating over the next month to cover some of the Josie Music Award nominees here. And we're coming to you live this evening from Radiolex Studios from Greyline Station in Lexington, Kentucky. And of course, all of you in our listening audience, we thank you for making a choice to listen locally this evening. And finally, congratulations to the Goodwin brothers on their nominations for not only the Josie Music Awards, but we did receive word that they've been nominated for the early nominee round of the Hollywood Independent Music Awards. So we're going to look forward to going out and supporting them again like we did last year. We're all excited about that. Both in bluegrass and a few other categories honoring their vocal work this year. So as we close the show, you're going to be listening to the Goodwin brothers perform one of their award-winning songs, Everyday Thing, and we invite you all, as a result of tuning in tonight, to make listening to Overtones Live, Radiolex, and the Goodwin brothers your everyday thing going forward. And until next week, this is Renee Cobb and Mark Royce, working in concert each and every week to bring you the best this great state of Kentucky has to offer music fans, reminding you that where words fail, music speaks.
With a big romance, a black tie wedding and a fancy dance. Then it's off to an island in the deep blue sea. They get back home thinking that's our love.